and like, you're too noisy. I said, you don't have to be around me.
Friendship may actually go beyond just relating on
A superficial
basis.
There's the adage that says, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
There are some of us who are not very good at regular visit, but because they are friends,
You have
in order to maintain that friendship.
The emotional state of the parents is usually directly proportional to the emotional state of
the children.
Hello viewers, good to see you again. We're right here at the living room of Equa Television International, and my name is Amaka Ucheke, and I hope we've been having a good year so far. But today we decided to talk about something that, as usual, is very important to us, and it impacts the way we see things, the way we relate with people, the way we relate with God. And we decided to look at gratitude today, to talk about gratitude. And with me to discuss this is our sister, Mrs. Ivy Namo. Ivy, welcome again today. Let's welcome ourselves.
Good evening, viewers.
Yeah.
It's good to be here again.
Yes. So when we say gratitude, what are we talking about?
Well, being thankful, being appreciative,
Oh, yeah.
Showing that you are happy, for what was done to you, or what you have received, or what you have, so it's holistic. It's the whole thing about just how you react when people do something for you, or you receive something from people. It's how you react to it. It's part of being showing gratitude. It's not just about saying thank you. There's a disposition you're going to put on, and even when you say thank you, looking at your face, one will know that you are not really grateful. So.
Okay, so gratitude is not just the words you say, but also your disposition and your actions show gratitude. Okay. Now, why is gratitude important? Why do you think?
A lot of times we think that we are supposed to get what we are having, So when we have that kind of mindset, it will affect how we respond when people do things for us, or when people show concern, or when people extend hands of fellowship to us. So gratitude gratitude for me, I feel like gratitude helps you to relax. It brings like healing to you, Being excited, it brings an excitement makes you relax, kind of, instead of always frowning and losing yourself, For the little things that people do, you are, thank you. From the inside, the thing is coming out. So gratitude is good for you as a person. And it's also good for the person who is extending the hands of fellowship, like, the person is, this small thing that I've done is why this person is so excited. The person is moved to do more. So for me, gratitude also attracts more from whoever is extending a hand of fellowship to you, or giving you a reason, giving you something, or a service. The way you react, the way you show how happy you are, how much you love what the person has done, it will make the person to go back and say wow, and wants to do more. So it's very important.
Yeah,
It's good.
I think gratitude is very important. Okay, now how do we show gratitude to our fellow human beings?
First of all, we should know that everything we have is a privilege.
Mm.
You do not own your life. You do not own whatever you have or whatever somebody is giving to you. So it's important that you show gratitude. Gratitude for the fact that you are alive and you are not dead. So one of the ways to show gratitude is to be thankful, and to put on a smiling disposition. Let your face show that you appreciate what this person is doing. Or you see some persons that you give something to, and the person will just look at you and say, me. And for me, I feel like it's not even about whether you are more than the person or the person is on the same level with you. A person, I have done something for somebody I know can afford it. The person, in fact, can afford even much more than I gave him. But the way the person reacted made me to feel like, this thing, so the way to show
in a good way, in a bad way.
In a good way. Okay. The person was, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, yeah, come and give me a hug. Thank you. And he collected it, and he started eating immediately. He called his wife, said, come and see. IB brought this for us. That gives me joy, So going to the person's house or taking something to the person is what I want to do over and over again. So one of the ways to show is to be thankful and to express it. Express it in your face, in your mind. Express it in the way you respond to what somebody has done for you.
Okay. So what are the kind of things we need to tell people when we're showing them gratitude, when we're grateful for what they have done?
Thank you. I'm grateful. God bless you. You thought of me to do this for me. And, statements like that,
And I think when people do things for us, we need to think it through. Not just, sometimes we just say thank you. We haven't really, I feel we haven't really put thought to what that person has done. Because we just need to realize that for anybody to give you anything, the person has denied his or herself something.
Oh, that thing.
No matter how small it is, it would have cost something. They would have denied themselves, or they would have given up their time to do something for you. So it always costs somebody something to do something for us. So I think we should put thought into it, so that when you appreciate what has gone into this thing, you will not take it for granted.
Yeah.
You're able to appreciate the person for what the person has done, and not feel entitled. Because I've heard people say things like, is it just because of this thing? And I'm like, wow. Somebody did all this for you, and I say, is it just because of this thing? As if you were in that person's shoe, or in those shoes, you would even have done as much.
A lot of persons, but when they look at you, they kind of size you up and feel like there's a particular thing you are supposed to do. Or if for instance, you want to give money, people already size you, maybe because of your position in the society or what you do. They already said in their mind, this person should be able to give 100,000 in their mind. And then they go to the person and he gives them 2,000. You'll be like, 2,000. Why? But what they don't realize is the fact that this person, from your own calculation, is big, does not mean that the person has what you think he or she have. That's why we should not approach, what people do for us or what people give to us with a sense of entitlement, or we should not describe people with what they do for us, because there are some persons who are going through a lot, despite their position.
That's the issue I wanted to raise.
Yeah,
you don't know what they're going through. You don't know the load
they are carrying a lot of load that you may not know. And so when out of that their pain, and they decide to, even if you think they are stingy, still appreciate it.
Yeah. Because I tell my kids that even if somebody gives you 100 naira, you could have bought him biscuits or something. So he denied himself something to give you, and he didn't give give him to keep for you.
Mm-hmm.
The person out of his heart
Exactly.
decided to give it to you. So you must be appreciative and show that. So even for my kids, not just that they say thank you, we expect them to tell us so that we too, the parents, will thank the person
that
who
did
did
it.
whatever they did
Yeah.
for the children. So that's not assuming that the person, anybody owes you.
Owes you.
Yeah, because I've seen, like a friend of mine told me some time ago, she gave a young cousin of hers some money. She sent 5,000 naira. He didn't ask her, but she saw it was his birthday some years back, and decided to send him and say, take yourself out for lunch. And then she didn't hear anything from him. She now called him. Did you see the money that I sent? Say, auntie, it's because of this 5,000 naira, I don't want me to rest. She was shocked. Was like, okay, I'm very sorry. That's what she told him. Say, I'm very sorry. And she switched off her phone and she told me, never again.
It happened to me once. I went to the I gave one of my cousins. In fact, that day I was with my friend and my daughter. So we met. It's been long we've met, like 3-4 years we've not seen each other. And so when I saw him, I just were like, oh. And we're cousins. Both of us were cousins, So I was like, oh, take this money. And he said, that I have looked him from head to toe, and this is what I'm going to give him.
Are you serious?
Yes. And my daughter looked at me, and my friend, both of them looked at me, and I smiled. So I collected the money from him. I didn't say anything. I took a bigger denomination and I gave him. He said, hey, it's now that you come. I laughed. So when we were going, my friend now said, if it is me, I will collect the money. I said, no, there are better ways of doing things. We're still here together. You see this one, this is the last thing he's going to eat from me. And everybody thought it was a joke. When I got home, I was telling my mom. My mom said, oh. So a year after, his daughter was wedding. He sent me invitation. He knew I was coming. He told my mom to remind me. He did everything just to inform me. I was actually at home. The day they were going, my sister, my mom, everybody was going. I told my mom I want to sleep. My mom knows. Ordinarily, that's not me. I would have packaged things. I told my mom I want to sleep. She said, you didn't hear that this person's daughter? I said, I know, but I want to sleep. She said, have you given him something? I said, no, I'm not going to give him. He said, well, but why? I said, don't worry, I know why. And maybe he also knows why. And still today, I don't hate him. We talked, we gist if we meet, but I feel like, no, giving him something again will be difficult for him because I don't want to give him something and he will look down on it again. So it's very important that you are careful the way you react when people give you something you think is not enough. And when people give you things, especially children, parents give children things and they feel like it's my father, so he's supposed to have given me. Yeah. That is not a very good way to look at it. Even if the person is your parent, even if the person is responsible for you, for him or her to pay your school fees, there's nothing stopping you from calling and say, Mommy, I saw my school fees, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It doesn't remove anything from you. And I think that you are making the person happy that this, my child, appreciates what I'm doing for them. And it will make them to work hard, not to want to delay your school fees next time. But when some people, it's not even their parents, maybe it's an uncle that is even paying the school fees. And the uncle has paid your school fees, and you are sitting down, and then they are asking you, say, have you seen do you know I've paid your school? You say, yes, I know. They gave me receipts. Is it that you are the one that worked and left the money in your uncle's pocket? They feel entitled.
It's their right.
No, even if it is your right. See, even if it's your parents that left money in your uncle's hand to use to pay your school fees, the fact that your uncle actually took that money and paid your school fees, you owe him gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to be conscious of the things we do, and spouses too, a lot of times, one of the persons that people at the home really do not give gratitude to is the mother. Because she cooks. Okay, they brought the money, she went into the kitchen, she does all the cooking, she set the table, everybody just eats and pack the plates and wash, and that's all. Nobody is saying, "Mommy, thank you."
Nobody's appreciating
Nobody is
us.
appreciating the fact that this woman went out of her way. Some people will even look at, in fact, for some, oh, she has cooked, the food is not very sweet. She has cooked, the food is salty. The fact that she even put effort into cooking, I think she deserves some accolades. So when you finish giving her those accolades, maybe later you can say, Kai, please, can you reduce the salt a
next
little?
time, yeah.
Please. So appreciating people gives them joy to want to do more and do better and improve. When children or spouses appreciate themselves, you will see them, their life will be healthier. When a wife appreciates her husband, a husband appreciates the wife, they will live healthier life. But when your husband sends money and you just see it and say, you have sent it to, or okay, there's something in the house that is not there, and your husband said, you tell your husband, so thing is not available, and he said, okay, I'll look into it, and he sends the money, and he has to ask you, have you seen the alert? You say, yes, I've seen it. At least now, just say, oh, I've seen the alert, oh, thank you. It doesn't remove anything from
It's
you.
really very painful when people don't show appreciation or even insult you for what you
have done.
Yeah, because I remember one of my kids who complained recently. She had gone out of her way to do so much or to gather to something to give somebody. And the person was like, what is this? Is this all you brought? Anyways, just because it's you, that's why I'm collecting it. Next time I'm like, aha, really?
That's
I think that's very sad.
It's sad.
And I'd been to, many years too, I'd been to a church. There was a time I was looking for a church to attend when I was in the university, and I attended one church. And that day it was pastor's appreciation. And you could see from the church that many people in the church were struggling. It was a small church, and people, you could see that they're struggling people, So when they did the pastor appreciation, the pastor was very annoyed that this small, what is this thing you brought for me? If you try it again next time, I'll just put everything inside the offering bag. What kind of rubbish offering is this? I felt it. I'm like, what kind of human being is this?
And it's a pastor.
For these people to have given, they deny. I looked at the caliber of people. I said, these people to have given you anything, they must have denied themselves a lot to be able to do what they did. And all you could do was throw it in their face. That next time you put in offering bag. And I also laughed. I'm like, oh, okay, the offering bag is God's own, that
should be like anyhow.
That. No, I felt that was really very insensitive and terrible. So as you said, when people feel that what they receive from a particular person is less than what they expect from that person, I don't think you didn't give the person to hold anything for you.
In fact, the person does not owe you.
Thank you.
He doesn't.
So
in fact, if you ask somebody for something and he doesn't give you, it's not owing you. It's not like a salary, you understand, so that you say, I worked for it.
It's not your right.
It's not a right, so whatever it is, we should learn to appreciate. And if we don't learn to appreciate humans like us, it will be difficult for us to appreciate God. And that's why a lot of people are full of complaint. You will see, in fact, you are looking at them as people that God is blessing. But every day, they are wearing a long face and complaining about all that God has not done. All that God has done halfway. That's the only one they are seeing. Because the attitude of gratitude, they have not learned.
So I think just let's learn. You, as we're also talking to ourselves, let's learn to appreciate whatever anybody does for you. Even if it's sweet, that somebody gave you one sweet. He could have eaten it or she could have eaten it, but she remembered you and gave you. learn to appreciate the person and say, oh, thank you so much for remembering me. Thank you for giving me this. God bless you. Not, what is this? Is this all you can do?
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's why people will say, my uncle is very stingy.
Yes.
Or even on, on that note, I ask people, I say, your parents are the ones responsible for you.
Your uncle is not.
Your uncle is not responsible for you. Your father is responsible for you. So if your father doesn't pay your fees,
And your
then you are
uncle
now
gave
quarreling
you half.
that your rich uncle is not paying your bills. Are you okay?
Exactly.
You have an irresponsible father. So talk to your father and please leave your uncle alone. If your uncle decides to help you, it's out of the
Exactly.
goodness of his heart, but he
Yes.
doesn't owe you anything.
He doesn't
Because
owe
I hear
you.
people say, oh,
This my uncle is
my
very
rich
stingy.
uncle, my
He
rich
doesn't
auntie,
help
they are very stingy, they don't help
anybody.
anybody. It's their money, oh.
Uh-huh.
They work for it.
Yeah.
Like I told somebody, if somebody like decides, for example, I decide I collect my salary, I put it together, I pour kerosene on it and burn it, it's my money.
Exactly.
It's not your own. So you have no say with my money. So you can't plan your life with somebody else's money and be calling people wicked. Whatever they do for you, be grateful and thank them profusely. And as you said, when you thank people, people tend to do more for you. When they see
Exactly.
that you are appreciative
Exactly.
of what they do. But when they see that you take it for granted, or you are even annoyed that they didn't give you as much
as you wanted.
they are not likely to give. You know, and then I think sometimes what also makes people not to show gratitude is that they are comparing. I also hear people say, my auntie, you know, sorry, I'm using family things, but I've heard a lot of those things.
It's
You
family
say,
most time.
my auntie gave me 1 piece of meat, but she gave her children 2 pieces.
Uh-huh.
In your house, before you came to that your auntie's house, how many pieces of meat were you eating?
Exactly.
So that she gave you meat at all, say thank you. Even if she gives her children 10 pieces of meat,
They are her children. You know.
be grateful for the one
Yeah.
that you got. And I think if you are grateful, you'll be able to focus on why you are where you are, the point where you are, so that you can grow.
And you know the funny thing, those who complain about others, they hardly give themselves. You can hardly, you see somebody who say, my uncle is wicked, my uncle doesn't give, my uncle this. Some of them find out they've never given anything to anybody.
I know
in
some
their
people
life.
personally who complained about uncles. How their uncle was stingy, how their uncle was not giving, how their uncle is tight-fisted, blah, 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 blah. Now they finish school. They are working. They have fantastic jobs. But nobody is seeing their money.
You see?
Nobody is seeing their money. Meanwhile, they kept complaining about other people. So I think we need to form that culture of being grateful. No matter how small you think it is. Learn to be grateful. Say thank you. And as you said, it's not just with your lips, but let your body language show it. Do it with a smile. Be grateful. And know that this person made sacrifice to give me this. So show thanks, show gratitude to the person. I also have experience. I've had some young people. Some young people, maybe students in school. You send them some money. You know, they are in school. You get the account details. You send some money, and they don't say thank you.
They will just not
So
say
I now
anything.
send message. I say, excuse me, did you see what the money I sent you?
They say,
Oh,
yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, it has happened to you too.
Yeah. I saw it.
Those ones, I marked a big bag. I'm never doing it again. I'm not sending you any money. Since the money I sent you is too small, because for them to do that means in their eyes is very small.
Yeah.
So I
keep my small money
I keep my
to
small
myself.
money to myself.
Yes.
Let those that have big money be sending you big money. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, look at these children. You've never even worked a day in your life.
In your life.
I send you
even
money.
if you are working in your life, are you giving me your money? Did you contribute to my own growing up? Do you know how I grew up? Some of these persons that you are calling your uncles today, that you are expecting to do so much for you, in quotes, that have not done, some of them, if they tell you how they went through life before they got to where they are, you'll be surprised.
Where they are, there are some people who continue to carry burdens.
Yes.
Of people.
So
yes,
you are not the only one.
Yes.
Sometimes
exactly.
you are not the only one. They are, there was a program I attended, and one of these politicians came to that program, and he donated, and there were 3 things that happened at that program, 3 different things. So he donated an amount, and he said they should share it equally into those 3 things. And then I could hear people at the background say, a whole politician, House of Reps member, how can he give this kind small money? How can he? While they were talking, it was a school function. While they were talking, there was another lady who came for the program, whose son was in that school, but also was heading another school. And she said, thank God, though, this man is here today. I'll be able to talk to him and give him my own invitation. So you are seeing what is happening now. He has come here to give. Another person is looking for him to give an invitation. And possibly before he leaves that place that day, he's going to get 2-3 invitations.
And even some problems he may have to solve there.
So when they finish, and we got talking with a few people, and they were saying, this man, it looks like he's very stingy. Did you see the amount he gave? I said, he has given that amount here. You see that lady there? He will go to her school, maybe, and give that amount. You see that other woman? He may go to her school, maybe, and give that amount. He has wife, he has children, he has siblings, he has other people who are depending on him. He will give all of these people small amount. By the time you put all the small amounts together, you discover that his salary cannot carry this thing. Why do you people like overburdening these people? Why don't you just show gratitude for the little that he gave? So that he knows that he doesn't have to steal to give you people.
Yeah, because that pressure they put on people.
Yes, tomorrow when he steals, you complain. Yeah. Even if his salary in a week is 10 million naira, from all these things that he's giving, give to this person, give to this person, give to this person, at the end of the day, you are just seeing 10 million as a big money. It is gone. And then he has to attend to family issues. His wife and children have to feed. He has to pay their school fees. He has to clothe them. He has to pay utilities in his house. So what exactly are you talking about? So I think you should let people be and be grateful. If they ever extend a hand to you, show gratitude. Yeah. It's very important.
Very important to show gratitude. And also for the younger ones or parents, I think you should also encourage your children.
Appreciate your children
yes. too. When they do things, let's say thank you to them too. It makes them feel happy. Yeah. You know, when I tell my children thank you for anything they do,
they are very excited.
Very happy. And
you know, I think we are talking about children having a sense of entitlement. There are some parents who feel entitled to their children and to the people living with them. The fact that this child, whether your child or whatever child, lives with you and helps you with things at home, I think it is just right that you show gratitude. Stop feeling that, I'm paying her school fees, I'm paying her. Even the people who work for me, I feel like I still owe them gratitude, because sometimes you may feel that she's working for me, I'm paying her. What if she's doing it and she's not doing it correctly?
Yeah.
And it's because of the way you are treating her. And that's why some of us, we keep help today, tomorrow they are gone, we keep another one like that because of the way we treat them. It doesn't reduce you to just say, well done, I saw the work you did in that place, thank you. Can you help me do so and so, and the person has done it. I say, I saw the thing I gave you to do, thank you. Even if she didn't do it well, after thanking her, you can now say, please, next time I want you to do it like this. It's a way of you boost their self-esteem, to be able to do more next time.
Yeah, so let's learn to show appreciation to family members, husbands, children, wives, and parents. And also to add for parents, let's also teach our children that anybody who does something for them, they should let you know, so that you too can also show appreciation and gratitude to the person who has helped your children in one way or the other. Don't also assume that it is your children's right for so and so to do XYZ for them. Let them learn to tell you, because it's when they see that this is a good thing or this is an important thing That's when they will tell you. But if you have taught them to be,
To look down on things.
well, what am I telling you? Is it only 5,000 that my uncle
Down
gave me?
gave me.
That's not good. And if your children do that, please kill it. Don't allow it to grow in them, and for them to continue life behaving like that. Okay, we've talked about gratitude to humans. Now, the big one, gratitude to God.
I think that every day when you wake up in the morning, you should learn to say thank you. Because for me, I think it even keeps us alive. For you to wake up and you can lift your leg, you can lift your arm, you can lift your head, you should say thank you. Because there are people who died in their sleep. There are people who woke up and could not lift their legs. There are people who became, something else as they wake up in the morning. So we should learn to say thank you to God. Because I know the only person who keeps us, who watches over us, who neither sleep nor slumber is God. You drive around town, some of us, or you enter, whether you jump keke, bike. Just last week, I was told around Bauchi Road, a young lady was on a bike and a trailer ran into them and she died on the spot. I don't know whether she's a student because I didn't want to ask further. Okay, just imagine that she's a student and that she's gone, so it could have been you. It could have been you. So we should learn to say thank you. If we're on social media, we heard of a girl, Deborah or somebody, who was killed and her head cut off and her vital organs removed by her boyfriend, a gospel singer. So
that kind of gospel singer.
I want what he's singing. So we should learn to say thank you. We should be grateful. I feel like we should wake up with gratitude and go to sleep with gratitude. Thanking God for helping us to see the light of day and thanking God for helping us to end the day well. Even if there were things that did not add up during the day, God is giving us another opportunity to sleep over and wake up the next morning to continue from where we stop. So we should learn to be grateful in the morning. We should learn to be grateful at night.
And in between.
Yeah.
I remember Professor Badu says, she told me a long time ago, and I try to practice it now. She says before her feet hit the floor, she thanks God for 10 things.
God.
As she wakes up, 10 things before she stands up from the bed too, so that you develop
it keeps you alive
of gratitude, and it helps you put life in perspective. Honestly, you don't feel like that entitled. Yes, you don't feel entitled. You don't feel
God.
that
He's
God
supposed to
anything.
keep me.
Are you paying him?
Exactly.
You're not paying him now. So whatever he does for you, you need to be thanking him. From the air we breathe to the life we have to strength, health. There's so many things to thank God for. And as Mrs. Namo said, we should start the day with Thanksgiving, end the day with Thanksgiving, and in between the start and the end of the day, see reasons to thank God and say it. So if we are grateful to God, it's not just to think it in our hearts, but say it out, thank God, and also testify to others about what God has done or what God is doing in your life.
You may never know what God is doing until you are in a situation. Some years ago, my close friend lost her third or fourth child. Okay, she has had 3 miscarriages, and then this fourth one were a set of twins, and they came out at 8 months, and they both came out dead. And we were in the hospital with my husband. I was so pained because she was very close to me. She was my friend. I was really crying because they had not told her. They came out. We went to the hospital to see her. She was inside. I was outside. I was already crying. It was so It was so devastating for us. This is the fourth time this is happening to this lady. So when we got home that day, I remember my husband saying something like, "Oh, how did you do it?" I said, "Me? I didn't do anything. You have had 3 children." No, as at that time, I've had my second child. So I was like, I didn't do anything. God did it. So he now said, you can never know what God is doing for you until you see how some people are going through it. You take a pregnancy to term, you go to the hospital, you just give birth, and you come back home, you are rejoicing, and you just think there's something in it. It's normal to just be pregnant and give birth, until you see someone who has to go through, pains, to just have a child. Then you will learn to appreciate God for taking you through. Some of us will complain, "Oh, you have only girls, you don't have boys. Oh, you have only boys, you don't have girls. Oh, you have only one child, you don't have." There are women who, no fault of their own, have not been able to conceive for years. So I'm not like spiting them, but I'm saying on your own, be grateful for what you have, because there are women who are looking for it. One of our auntie told us a story that they went to visit one lady in her house, and her things were well arranged. Everything was neat, well kept. And then the person they went together, I think she has 2 boys or so. So she made a comment that, "Hi, I wish my house can be well arranged like this. You see these boys, they will not let me put anything." She didn't know she struck a painful chord in that woman. That woman has been married for, I think, 15 years or so, no child. So when she just made that comment, the woman pulled the chair and threw everything away and said, "I wish I can have just one that will scatter this house. You think I love to see these things well arranged? I wish I can have just one." So you see what you have that you think that is problem to you. Somebody is begging for just one. So when you look around you, instead of seeing the things that God has not done, in quotes, by the time you look at the things God has done, you won't remember those ones he has not done. So you'll be able to be more grateful to God for the things he has done.
I think when we show gratitude to God, it gives us proper perspective of life. You are grateful for what he has done. It helps you see, yes, that your life may have taken a different trajectory, but for the grace of God. So we need to learn to thank God and show God gratitude. So apart from saying thank you, God, say, "God, thank you." How else can we show gratitude to God?
We can show gratitude to God by investing in other people's life. If God has blessed you, the way to tell God thank you is not just by words of mouth or by, "Oh, I'm happy God is faithful." You can also invest in people's life. You can help people do things. You can, help people who are struggling around you. There's a way you can invest in their lives. It's a way of being grateful to God. And from the comments we make to people, sometimes, I remember when the Nuhus were here, they made mention of a lady who said that all she needs is just to sleep with her husband and she'll get pregnant. And you're talking to a woman who has not had a child for over 20 years. That you are being an ungrateful human being. Because one of the ways to show gratitude is to be careful what you say to people. Be careful. It is not because you are you that you have what you have. It is just God's mercy and grace. So when you see it like that, it will help you to have compassion on those who don't have. Don't see it as if, you deserve it. But like somebody say, "I pay my tithes, I serve God wholeheartedly." Or you say to people, "It's because I didn't live a loose life as a girl." I have seen girls who married as virgins, and yet they can't get pregnant.
I should be telling you the story. now.
Exactly.
I should be telling you the
So
story.
what is it that
I'm
you
telling you
think?
the story.
And I've seen ladies who have messed up
Very
their
wayward,
life, very
and they have
wayward,
kids.
and they got pregnant not up to even a month. They are pregnant. So how do you explain all of that? So whatever you have, it's not because of who you think you are. It is because of God's grace and mercy. So if you have a gratitude disposition, you will not look down on anybody around you. It's when you have a sense of entitlement, you think that it was
You've
your
earned it.
you earned it. That's why you can see somebody who don't seem to have what you have, and you want to look down on them.
So being serving other people, being kind to even those who don't have or who are not in the place where we are at, knowing it's part of showing gratitude to God, knowing that everything here, I don't deserve anything. It's just by your
God's
grace and mercy
Yeah.
that I'm here, and I return thanks to you. The Bible also says that anybody who is happy or so, says you should sing. So
song, yeah.
that's part of showing gratitude to God. Sing to Him, praise Him, clap, dance, whatever. As an individual, as a family, as a group, as a church, we can all do that to give thanks to God for what He has done. But one of the other things too, I think people should do, if you are grateful to God, to show gratitude to God for what He has done in your life, is to serve Him wholeheartedly. And service of God is not just that you're attending church. It's not that you're attending church, but you have come to a point where He has control over everything that concerns you, from your head to your toe. And that means you will walk in obedience. Anything God says, do. You go and do it. As they say, if God says jump, you say, God, how high? Yes, how high? It's not, oh, why am I jumping?
What is
No.
it?
If you begin to complain about anything God asks you to do or to obey Him, then
You are not grateful.
you are not grateful. You don't know what He has done for you. He has bought you with a price now. What again do you want? Anything He says you should do, you should do it willingly and happily, without complaining, without grumbling. I think those are ways to show gratitude to God. It's not just to say, God, thank you. Then you go out and live your life the way you want. You need to live it in a way that shows that, yes, He's the one that has done it for you. He's in control, and you appreciate what He has done. Any other ways you think we can thank God or show Him gratitude?
Well, like we've been saying, investing in people's life, just being there for people. Like talking about service in the house of God. What is it? When there are some persons that they are in church, whenever it's time to do something in church, they will just dodge and whether do something that involves them being there.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in church last Saturday and I saw a lot of young people washing their chairs using iron sponge, doing it. Those young people were there from like 9 a.m., some of them till 4. It's a way of saying thank you to God. I don't think that if they don't do it, the church is going to look for them in their houses and say, we're suspending you from church because you didn't come. Being involved in God's service, God's work, is a way of showing gratitude to God, because in most churches there are a few people who who are committed, and you see them taking up a lot of loads, and some other persons just feel that what they owe the church is to come to prayer meeting, go back, come to Bible study, go back, come to church on Sunday and go back. When you say do this, you say, what for? Why should I? I don't have to be there. And I keep asking, I said, if you think that you don't have to be all of this in church, there are people who are doing it, that's why you feel comfortable. If nobody sweeps
everybody
the church,
had your same attitude,
exactly. If nobody sweeps the church, nobody comes to clean the church, nobody is involved in the band, nobody is involved in the choir, then what kind of church would we have? So you need to commit. You can't be in a church and you are not committed to anything. You're just there. For me, it's being ungrateful. It's being ungrateful. You are not committed to anything in church. No, now. I don't know what kind of church person you are. So okay, just stay at home now and be
Do whatever it is you
doing
do.
whatever you do, or be doing online service. Even the online service, people are there working to make it go
Oh
online.
yeah.
If those people say no, who is going to put it on air? So you need to be committed somehow. That commitment is a form of gratitude.
Shows you
God.
are grateful to God. If you are
Yes.
really grateful to God, you want to serve Him.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, I forgot. The other thing too, the way to also say God thank you is to testify of what He has done.
Yeah.
You testify and tell
Tell people what the Lord has done for
has
you.
done
For
for
you.
you. That's the way to show gratitude to God for all the things that He has done, and the position He has placed us, how far He has brought us, how He keeps us, watches over us. There are so many things to recount about, but we need to put thought to it.
Instead
We
of
need to-
looking at another person
No,
and
think
feeling
about your
that
own,
the person you should have been here, God should have. Why didn't God allow you to do this? Why didn't
Like the
God
other person you
allow
are
you to be
comparing.
like this?
No.
Instead of thanking
Yeah.
Him for where you are right now.
So I think we need to put thought into it. You need to think about it and ask yourself, what is it that God has done for me? You may sometimes need to write it out, itemize it, and as the song says, when you count your blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. There's so much God has done, and many times we just take those things for granted. So let's be deliberate about enumerating them, counting them one by one, and being able to thank Him for each one that He has done for us. And we'll see that it will finish. We can't
There's
even
so
exhaust
much. There's
all
so
the things
much.
that God
There's
has done
so much
for
that
us.
God has done. So much.
Okay, I think we need to wrap up. But before we wrap up, maybe you tell us one thing that God has done for you that you are grateful for. And I will say one thing I'm grateful for, and then we run.
Wow.
At least to set the ball rolling so that viewers can also begin to count the things that God has done for them and give God thanks.
Yeah. There's so much. I don't even know where to
Just
start.
Tell us if
Okay,
you won or if you.
I want to thank God for many years now. My family, we've not had to go for any hospital major visits. God has blessed us with health. I feel like it is God. It's not us. It's not because we are eating the right type of food or something. And then one of the things God has done for myself and my family is Johnny Mercy. Because I know myself and my husband, we travel
Even
lot.
me, I'm part of that.
We travel a lot, especially my husband. He travels a lot. And here he's coming back safely. Every time when he comes back, I just look and say, oh, say good, yeah. God has been faithful.
Yeah.
And I thank God also that my family is still together, we are still together. There are people who got married and they never lasted till
You can
now.
say that again.
By April this year, my marriage will be 27.
Wow.
And we're still going on.
Yeah, that's great.
I think there's so much.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted us to start somewhere. Okay, me, what do I thank God for? These Johnny Mercies you mentioned. God has helped me, my family. We also travel a lot, and we come back as if we didn't go anywhere.
As if we didn't go anywhere.
As if we didn't go anywhere.
Road, air, just like that.
And we know that the roads are terrible.
Yeah.
There are many criminals on the road. Just so much that can go wrong. But God, in His mercy, takes us and brings us back. Then yesterday, I was just thinking about my life, and one of the things I really am grateful for is salvation. Because I was thinking about my life and things that had happened to me or things where I had been in the past. And I said, if not for salvation, if God hadn't saved me, the trajectory of my life would have been so different. And I don't think I would have been in a good place at a time like this. But God, in His mercy, I keep saying it. I can't explain it. I don't know how. All I know is that God just reached down like this
and picked us.
And picked this girl up. That's all I can say. I don't deserve it. He's just in His mercy. He just decided to reach down to me. And as you said, there's so much. Waking up every morning, having a job, having a place to lay my head, having food to eat, even in these difficult times. You know,
How we went through 2024, I don't know.
can't
All
even
I know
explain.
is
But
we went through it and we
eat,
ate.
we paid our bills, we're not owing anybody,
Anybody.
you know.
Anybody.
And just God has just been good and gracious, and I'm just grateful to Him. Thank you, God. And viewers, so sit down and begin to recount the things God has done for you. And as we said, one of the best ways or most important ways you can show gratitude, apart from saying thank you, is that you leave yourself in His hands to use you. As she said, how can you sit in church and just be looking? Sunday you go to church and you go. Put yourself somewhere. The way you can show God, because you can't pay Him now. How much do you want to give God?
Of course.
You know, what can we do?
And the little things you do can attract people to God.
Yes. So let's go all out to show God that, look, God, we're grateful to you. We thank you. Just keep praising Him by your life, by the things you say, by testifying about all He has done. And as you said, the more you thank Him, the more He's still doing for us. His mercies just never end. As the Word of God says, they are new every morning. Great is His faithfulness. So we're grateful to God, and let's keep thanking Him. Let's make gratitude our lifestyle. Viewers, as we go, to remind us again, learn to show gratitude to your fellow man. The things people do for you. Don't be entitled. Thank people for, no matter how little they do for you, they give you. Say thank you with joy in your heart. And of course, as we said, learn to be thankful to God for all He does.
In fact,
for us.
as a family, my siblings, God favored us. Our first son turned 50. He's turning 50 on Wednesday. And last year, he had to go through 2 surgeries. And then he had a fungal infection that was going. His hands were just eating up. We kept praying. He kept going to the doctors. And how God did it, we don't know. But
He has
somehow
done it.
God has done it.
Yeah.
And I want to say that for me, God has just done so much, because when I have phobia for surgery, very serious phobia. I don't want to go into the details. Very serious because of what happened to one of my friends. So whenever they tell me somebody wants to go into surgery,
You're scared.
I'm really scared. But my brother went through 2 surgeries and he came out. I'm just grateful.
So, what do we say to God as a sinner?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mungode. Yes, so we're very grateful. So, viewers, please sit down and go through your life and find the different reasons for which you need to give God praise. So, till we come your way again, same time, same place at the Living Room Equa Television. We've been here, Mrs. IB Namo and myself, Amaka Ocheke, talking about gratitude. God bless you and live a life of gratitude. Bye.